Well, well, well. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Citizen Talk, Ep.8, where we're going to dive into 4.2 and the messiness that it has been, and well as some good stuff. I should probably have the Google Doc up, holy crap, Mr. Blue.
But
You've been busy.
there's a lot to be said about 4.2, and not a lot of it's good.
This man to my right sits here and goes, "Hey, I did some work on the script for 4.2. Why don't you take a look?" And I'm going, "Holy shit, you've been busy."
Did some work, light work.
Dido, we're doing good. You found a Hornet with 2 level 3 Ardor salvage beers. Nice. Make sure you try to store those off of the ship before the patch. That way you may not lose them. It's going to be an interesting one tonight because, as you can see above us, 4.21, we're going to discuss the nightmare that it has been. We are going to discuss 4.3 being an evocati. We are going to go over Ship of the Week, which is the RSI Apollo variants, and some newbie first steps, which I know Mr. Blue is looking forward to. But
Kind of.
I am Evil Tactics, content creator, live streamer over on twitch.tv. Been backer for Star Citizen for the last 15 years. 10 years, Jesus Christ. It might be 15 before we get 1.0. But 10 years. Elevators. Yes. Yes, Dido. We're going to talk about elevators. I am kind of juggling getting back to streaming because I got a 1-year-old. I just started a new gig, which for right now I'm on first shift. Then I'm moving over to second shift, which is why Citizen Talk is now shifted to Saturdays. That way we have more time to actually have some fun and, discuss this before Org Night. Blue, who the fuck are you?
I don't know anymore. I'm Mr. B Knight. I go by Blue or Knight, either one. You find me on Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, usually around 7 p.m. and Saturdays during Org Night, which we're going to segue into after Citizen Talk tonight. But I also am a Star Citizen content creator. I'm going to be introducing some intro videos and things like that in the near future to YouTube to kind of supplement what we do here on Citizen Talk. And I completely forgot the last thing I was going to say, but that's me in a nutshell.
Words are sometimes hard for Mr. Blue and myself, especially last night.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was up until 3 a.m. my time. Well, I was in bed by 3, but I was up until 2. I didn't realize that last night's stream was gonna go so long.
Oh my god! But it was fun. It was a blast. Chrono is here to rage. Prepare thyself. Yes.
Chrono's here to rage. Oh Lord.
Yeah. So. Oh boy. We're going to jump straight into the Ship of the Week because this one is a requested one. People are dying to get some medical gameplay in Star Citizen. Probably would have been useful during the resource drive, whether you're pirating or you're on the ground getting killed from ships outside of the Armistice Stone, just laying waste to everything below them. Blue, I will pull it up, and this one is all you, buddy.
Oh, I'm gonna need your help a little bit on it, just because I did a little bit of research, not a ton though. So the RSI Apollo, there's two variants that are still in production, but very, very close to being done, and I'm looking forward to trying them out. I don't think we didn't get the chance to fly them. I don't think at Invictus this week, right? They were not available.
No, they were not available like they were supposed to be.
That was one of my biggest disappointments, was not being able to give that a shot, because I like the designs. The fact that they're modular medical ships and you can switch the configuration out a little bit to tailor to what you want it to be is kind of cool.
Yes. I'm excited for them.
As of right now, the price of these ships in the pledge store, the triage, is going to be about $250, and the medevac is $275. Which is the value worth it? That is going to be yet to be seen, because it's really hard to give a value unless you really get the opportunity to test something out and put it through its paces. And without a dedicated medical game loop, it's a bit tricky, because yes, you can join in on org nights and chase down your fellow citizens and revive and everything, but unless you're part of an org, you're kind of
shit out of luck.
You're out of luck, yeah, because there's medical beacons that can go up. I haven't seen one in ages, and I don't know if that's because they down. They did. They might have.
I think they took them down because they're probably okay. We know the Apollo, I think they said, is coming in IA. Or was that the Perseus? Perseus for sure.
Perseus,
but I think the Apollo
IE,
is
Apollo
another
is
one.
Sooner.
Yeah, I think the Perseus, Apollo Triage, and Apollo Medevac we're gonna get at IA. But yeah, no, they took medical beacons out. 4. Shit, was it 4.0?
I saw them last patch.
So 4.1 we had them, or 4.2. Yeah. 4.2 we had them. We haven't had them since 4.21.
I haven't been in a situation yet this patch where I've had to call a medical beacon. I've
never called one, to be honest.
There's so many contracts on here now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 different tabs that they have in the contract. So I don't always scroll down to the bottom to see if there's a medical beacon up.
So the way it works, or the way it used to work, medical beacons are considered priority. So they actually pop up on your screen, on your heads-up display. It'll say, you know, hey, medical assistance required. You know, they'll pay you 15,000 credits to come to location and revive them. Idris Medical Edition, the entire ship is a mobile. It is a mobile hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
Until that game loop officially comes into play, I'm not entirely sure if that $250 or $275 price point is 100% worth it. But I don't doubt it will. I don't doubt that it will be worth it. It's I'm excited for the modularity and being able to do what you can with those ships. So
I mean, it's like the one thing that's on screen right here that as part of it is you're going to have this, I want to say remote controlled medical bed, which they kind of tease. Oh, it's not in the triagers screen. Hold on. It's in the medevac's screen. So as you can see, it's picking up a down player from a wreck.
Okay.
So you launch this out and you bring them back on board, so you don't even have to get out of the ship.
That would actually be really good if you didn't even have to leave the cockpit, if there's a remote ability to do that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, I would say pirates. You can't really pirate a medevac, but if you're really wanting to be a griefer, you could probably sit in your ship, call a medical beacon, or intentionally put yourself into a situation where you have to call a medical beacon and then hijack somebody else's ship by taking over when they pull you in. But if you can call a ship in from inside the cockpit and keep yourself in a safe situation, that would be really good.
Yeah, because but both ships are the exact same for the most part.
Do they both have drones?
I think they do both have drones. Let me double check here. doesn't really tell you. Yeah, doesn't really tell you. But the big difference between the Triage and the Apollo, as Knight has said, is the price at the moment and the defensive capabilities the ship has. The Medevac, which is 275, comes with two size 2 to be determined ballistic Gatling guns and 2x2 size 2 missile launchers or missiles. So it's going to have, and it says it's got 3 of those.
So it's got decent defenses, which is really good, especially for medical purposes.
Now, how I'm going to assume the insides are going to be quite similar on these two because they are strictly medical ships, even though someone's going to find a use case to turn them into piracy ships. Yeah. I mean, they only hold 28 SCUs, so you're not pulling out a lot of boxes. You know, obviously, you know, if someone's got 1 SCU or 2 SCU crates of Quantanium, you can take that. You know, if you're out there on a wreck and helping someone and you see their high value stuff is still there, you can go ahead and take that as, I guess, payment. It's a tip. But yeah, so the description of the two is actually quite different. I don't know if you have this up.
I not at the moment, no.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with the lesser version description, and then I'll jump over to the Medevac description. The legendary Apollo chassis from Roberts Space Industries is the gold standard in Medevac rapid emergency response, having provided critical aid to the known universe for well over 2 centuries. That's all it says for the Triage.
Okay.
Now, the Medevac, which if I was to buy a medical ship, I'd probably go for the Medevac because it says, along with superior armor and dual missile racks, the 2948 Apollo Medevac model pays homage to the classic's 2910. It says film. Astromedics. Back from the brink with livery that accurately recreates the headlining. I'm not even going to try pronouncing that. Cathara. But yeah, I mean, they're the same length, they're the same size. Everything about these ships is more or less the same. The Medevac is 10 SCM faster. So, tomato there.
Potato.
Exactly. It's got the same amount of fuel intakes, fuel tanks, quantum drives, you know, all that's the same. They are identical in thrusters. Same exact power plants, which they do not list the sizes on those power plants. Well, they do. It doesn't even list the sizes. The big difference is the guns. One comes with lasers, one comes with ballistics and missiles.
So is this going to be like a situation where you have the Ares Ion versus the Ares Inferno?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, again, medical gameplay is not in there. It does say that the Medevac has superior armor versus the Triage, which I would assume Triage is the one you would send in once you've cleared the area. And the Medevac, obviously in the name, medical evacuation, is you're going into a hot zone. And so shells are going to be flying. There's going to be enemy. You need to get in, get your target, get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you're going to have to take some hits. Now, sadly, we're not going to see a lot of that until Maelstrom and the armor systems come in. Yeah. Where do you think this puts the... Well, okay, let's go to the question before that. How could either of these ships replace medbays on ships like the Idris, Polaris, or the TAC? Now, mind you, each ship has their own dedicated role.
Yes, they have. So I realize that 2 of those are capital ships, and then the other one is the TAC, the newest combat
drop ship,
that,
AC-130, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, gunship. I'll just call it a gunship because that's exactly what it is. It's just a gunship. Uh, they each have their own role, so they're not specifically used just for their med bays. If you're flying out in an Idris and you imprint on the Idris, you're either imprinting because you're going to be a fighter that's flying out of the Idris, or you're getting dropped off by an Idris and you're planning on going into battle and you're probably going to get incapped or somebody's going to eliminate you, and you need a place to spawn that's not 60 GM away from where your org is fighting.
Or Chrono shoots you by accident because he's got an itchy trigger finger.
Yeah, that, or there's the PDCs recognize you as a not a friendly, and
happens all the time.
That way too. Yeah, it does. It really does.
Yeah, Chrono accident.
So there's all those questions you have to ask, and I don't think, because the Polaris, Idris, and the TAC kind of have their own roles, that this won't affect the use of the medbeds on those ships. Because they're massive ships. They can't get in and out quickly, but they're meant to hate heavy fire.
Yeah.
But I would see, and this is kind of why I segued with the next question: where does this put the Terrapin Medic? It's going to depend on how versatile those modules are inside the Apollo, and I mean, how popular that's going to make them, because having the versatility to customize the ship, for me at least, would be a factor on whether or not I was going to get a Terrapin Medical or if I was going to get an Apollo. Not to mention the fact that the Apollos will have some kind of drone, as we talked about. The drones are the ability to send a ship
some way to go out and
essentially and collect the player for you.
Yeah.
How you control that is yet to be seen, but yeah, that's another huge factor that the Terrapin Medic doesn't have. So will this be the end of the Terrapin Medic, or will there still be a niche for it? Or another question I was going to say as you were going through the specs is, what is the quantum fuel quantity that the Apollos have in comparison to the Terrapin? Because right now, the Terrapin is a ship that you could fly around the verse for ages in without having to refuel quantum fuel because of the size of its reserves, or the fuel tanks. So, is the RSI Apollo going to be more of a short range medevac where a Terrapin can be long range? That's another question that I've got. But things to consider when this ship comes out, and when you get ready to look at either getting a medic, an Apollo, or a Terrapin.
It is, because I'm trying to find the ship hangar to figure out what it is, but I can never remember the website that they use. But from what I can tell you, because it's not on Urkel, neither of those ships are on there yet. It's not Star Hangar I'm looking for. What is that other ship editing website?
Oh, Lord.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. I just can't remember what it's called.
Oh, this is killing me.
It'll come back to you at like the most inconvenient time.
It will. It'll start. I don't know. But yeah, I would assume these ships are probably going to have decent quantum tanks, quantum fuel reserves, mainly because they're going to have to be able to travel.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't find it, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I'm going to assume they're going to have to do it. And then Chrono said one of them will have tier 1 beds because those are the only ones you're going to be able to spawn on in the future.
Oh,
and
that's good. Another good point.
something that you mentioned with like the Idris and the Polaris, you know, we'll leave it to the capital size ships, is those med beds are actually meant for the crew on board those ships. They're not meant to be mobile spawn locations. So I can see them when you finally have the ability, like when you're in a firefight in, let's say, the Idris, and when you're able to target the turrets better and certain specific areas of the ship, and like if you're a gunner in that turret and it could take so much damage and it damages out to where it's now dead, and you know the shields have not protected you being the gunner, you're going to have to be rescued by the medical staff, which I think would be a cool little gameplay loop to where there'll be a button for like obviously the gun's out, but it's still in its fixed position upright, you know, the chair is, to have a button down low to have it be like a forced extraction where it's going to forcefully
eject.
Yeah, where it's going to forcefully pull the turret seat back down so the medic can then get you out of the seat, get you down to medical, heal you, if not revive you, and things like that. I mean, maybe I'm making things a little more complicated than CIG can handle at the moment because, again, we've seen that, yes, for a lot of these events that are going on, our stress test is on the system.
Mm-hmm.
But
and CIG's always had their eyes are always bigger than their stomach is. So
yeah. Where does it put the Terrapin Medic?
I think it's
a completely different ship.
It's gonna have to be. We'll have to see when it comes out.
Well, the Terrapin Medic's a single medical bed.
It's a single med bed, yes. And the Apollos are essentially floating hospitals.
Yeah,
Quick,
it's a
speedy
medevac. You know, then you got the Terrapin medevac, or the Terrapin medic, but at the same time, the Terrapin medic is well armored. You know, it's got the drop down ballistic shields that handle in the cockpit, so you don't have to worry about getting shot out. I could see the Terrapin medic being more support for boots on the ground, while the Apollo and the medic are more space driven because they have that they have that little hangar bed. You know, they have from what it looks like in one of the pictures here, a lower bay door for that bed to come in and out of. So okay. I think the Apollo series is more meant for space battles and stuff that happens in zero gravity.
So would it be fair to call the Terrapin a
I think it's a ground based. Kind of like the Ursa.
I don't want to say a ground based, but like military buffs would know terminology better than I, but so I'll just go with the Apollo. The Apollo would be a medical interceptor, essentially.
Okay.
Get in, get out, on your way.
Yeah.
Whereas what's the personal transportation or personnel carrier?
APC.
APC. So
that would be the Ursa.
Like yeah. So APC, but the Terrapin could be more of like a APC, just like a flying version of the Ursa. So.
It's in current terms, it'd be the UH-67 medevac Blackhawk, or a medevac Chinook.
Okay, so behind the lines, heavy medevac.
That's what I would assume, because I mean it's got decent firepower on it. So yeah, I guess I would say that's more the use case for the medic. Yeah, it's more planet side use cases, because it does have that long ramp for you to get out. It doesn't have any other access points for you. It's meant to be planet side medical vac.
Okay.
Yeah, Dido, that's a very good point there. I was looking for the words, but I couldn't think of it. But yeah, I would definitely say it's more of a planet side, while the Apollo Medevac and the Apollo Triage do have their planet side use cases, but they're more, as you can see in the pictures, what they're showing us is more hover above the ground and space driven.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Oh, that is ship of the week.
I
liked it.
Shall we move on to? I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm excited about it. There's more on YouTube and some of the forums out there about it getting closer and closer to being ready to go. And
I think it is.
I personally like the design of the ship, and I really wish, I really hope that in the future that the Constellation series ships adopt more of the Apollo Medevac front end, where they have the curved cockpit glass that doesn't have the brace across the front. I hope they adapt that, but that's just a dream. So I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Please, CIG, fix that.
Give us the ability to see out the front window.
Well, what's the one that's actually got the damn good windshield? Is that the Phoenix?
It might be the Phoenix. I think it's the Aquila.
Yeah, Aquila.
Aquila. That one has like a rounded cockpit and rounded windshield. Like the entire thing is almost like a rotating cockpit. Wouldn't that be something?
that would be something. All right, so next section of tonight's episode is newbie info, where we are going to discuss a few things which we might have already gone over in past episodes, but we're going to rehash it because some things have changed. You know, the launchers update and people start having issues getting into the game, and there's certain ways to work around that. So one of the first things you do as a new player when you're launching the game, actually, step back here. Before you launch the game, before you even install the game, make sure you read the required system specs. This game tells you it needs to be installed on a solid state drive or an M.2 drive. If you do not do that, it's going to run like crap. You will lose frames big time just because it's on a spinning hard drive. So don't do that. Make sure it's on a solid state drive or an NVMe first and foremost. But when you launch the game and you've picked your home location, what are you going to do? Besides run around like a chicken with the head cut off because you're lost. Because there's not much.
A lot of people do that.
Well, and if you skip the tutorial too, because it's been broken for a while.
Yes.
So,
please, for the love of God.
You're going to skip the tutorial. Until they manage to fix that, skip it. But okay, we're going to assume, Knight, you are a new player. You've spawned into your bed at your home location. What do you do? Where do you go?
Well, first thing you got to do, you want to first claim your ship so it's ready to go, and then after you claim your ship, you're going to have a couple other things to do. There are three fundamental things that you begin with. First, your ship. Second is your armor and backpack, because you're going to need personal and you're going to need personal inventory to be able to carry all the stuff that you're going to need and want to carry.
But how do I get to my ship?
And then you're going to need sustenance. But to get to your ship, you need to find... Let's see. You always spawn planet side, first of all. So it's one of the locations that pops up on the launcher map. So it's Orison, Area 18, Lorville, or New Babbage. Or if you selected Pyro, it's going to be one of the space stations. There's a lot of signs around the planets and space stations that will lead you directly to where you want to go. Think of it kind of like if you've ever been to an airport, you're looking for ground transportation or baggage claim. Follow the signs. I will say that out of any of the locations that I've been to, I think Lorville and Orison are going to be the two more complicated locations to find the spaceport at, just because they have multiple options and directions you can go to get to different platforms and different POIs within the planet or the city. But follow the signs if you need to. There's maps, but get yourself to the spaceport and make your way to an ASOP terminal. Do you know what ASOP stands for? I meant to look it up, and it's escaping me.
I want to say it's automatic. Shit. Throw me under the bus here. Automated Ship Organization Program.
Okay.
Yes.
So just based on that,
Why don't they just call it, ATC or Garage?
Fleet,
I
fleet manager?
Yeah, or Fleet Manager. Because it's RSI and Star Citizen?
Maybe. So you get to the ASOP terminal, and then the very first thing it's going to tell you to do is
because you're
deliver your
Corona.
you want to get your ship delivered, and then you're going to end up having to go back into that menu and retrieve it, and that will bring your ship to your home planet, and you'll be able to go call it up to a hangar and then go out to the hangar and jump in the ship. That is the very basics of getting to your ship.
Yeah. So okay, now you've figured out how to get to your ship.
Now once you get there, you're gonna have to first of all make sure you don't ever take your helmet off if you're gonna go fly or go out into space. Put your helmet back on, because your helmet does not just serve the purpose of keeping oxygen around your face.
Heads up display.
It also has a heads up display, which I didn't know until like after the first 3 or 4 weeks of playing this game. I just thought the heads up display was on the ship itself, and how wrong I was.
Yeah.
I thought I was getting Star Citizen to multiple times when suddenly I couldn't see my targeting or anything else of that nature.
Yeah, the heads-up display is big, which then goes back into armor, backpack, food, sustenance, medical gun, med pens, things you're going to need
utility
on top
items.
of a gun. Yeah, you know, because
depends also on your gameplay. If you're planning on doing bounties or bunkers, you're gonna need a firearm. I always carry a firearm on my character at all times, just because I never know where I'm gonna end up,
or who's gonna end up attacking you,
or who's gonna pirate you, or who's gonna attack you, who's gonna be friendly. It's hard to tell.
It very is.
And then you have the pyro multi-tool, which gives you the ability to attach different items to it, including a tractor beam or mining tools or cutter tools, or even a medical tool now. You can choose to carry one of those, or you can carry med pens and a max lift. It's really up to you. You just have to decide what you're going to do for a game, what your game loop is. If you're going to run cargo and you're going to run into cases where you need to lift like 24 SCU crates or larger, I'd definitely go with a max lift over a pyro multi-tool, because the pyro multi-tool can't lift 32s. I think it can lift 24s, but I'm not 100% sure.
Which is funny because they are both handheld.
Yeah.
That's what's never made fucking sense to me in this game so far, is that you got the pyro multi-tool and then you got the max lift, which are both handheld tractor beams. Like, why can't I have a suit that has a shoulder mounted tractor beam? That way you as a player are not taking the weight of whatever you're carrying in your hands, and you're using the rest of your body to take the weight. Yeah. But yeah, definitely get yourself a tractor beam. med gun, the stuff you're going to need to survive.
Yep.
Um,
And most of that stuff, like tractor beams and med guns, anything medical related, you can find in the hospital near the pharmacy. And hospitals and pharmacies are at every single space station, every single city. They are kind of scattered around. Obviously, the layout's not going to be the exact same, but it's the same concept and principle. And then for your utility items, you can go to a cargo center, which can be found at certain locations.
Optics needs a hug. Night.
Optics needs a hug. Optics. Why is Optics need a hug?
He just came in the chat. He said the only thing I need to survive is a hug, a massive one. Yeah, I mean, as a new player, you're going to run into a lot of issues. You're going to scratch your head a lot because you might be flying somewhere and you're going to accidentally hit a button because the keyboard layout in this game is probably one of the most complicated in any video game I've really seen. Because there's modifiers you have to hit, like left control or left alt, right alt, you know that it's all gonna do something different.
I have to go AFK for just a minute. I'll be right back.
No. But there's a lot of different things that you need to do when getting into Star Citizen for the first time. One of which, find an org, like Machina, where you're going to have players like Optics and Knight and Chrono who are going to be able to show you the ropes and help you get somewhere in the verse. When choosing armor sets, one thing you need to keep in mind is light armors can only attach light backpacks, and then they scale up tiers, medium and heavy, and the same goes for that. So you need to be careful on what armors you're buying and what backpack sizes you are buying, and that each thing has only a certain amount of storage in them. Chrono has a recommendation to definitely join an org, but also find a guide through the RSI website. Yes, speaking of, I am a guide on the RSI website. I don't think Knight has set himself up for one yet.
I have not, but I'm kind of doing that on an external basis here as a freelancing guide, not a full blown credentialed guide.
Yeah. Yeah, that you got the pyro backpack and you got all this other stuff. So based on the armor you select, is going to dictate which backpacks you can carry, the amount of stuff you can carry, and so on and so forth. Realistically, that was newbie info, relatively quick.
Yep. It's short, sweet, and simple.
Yeah. I mean, and with each week going on, we'll go over more newbie info based on either your guys' questions on the suggestion box or, I don't know, maybe they put something new in and we just need to know where the hell we're going.
Yep. I've had a lot of questions pop up with some of the people that I'm introducing to Star Citizen, and it never hurts to revisit some of the info that we covered today. So that's why I wanted to touch base on it again.
It's an ever-evolving game. I mean, they're putting stuff in all the time. So, all right, down to the meat and potatoes. 4.21. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh
fiery, flaming turd of a patch. I'm sorry.
Anybody
loves cargo. I don't mind cargo, but if anybody loves cargo, I am sorry.
I'm hanging my head down out of frustration.
I feel that CIG has let down our box monkeys a lot with this one. So
they screwed the pooch.
Yes, they did.
As you guys can see in chat, a lot of people have had the issues with the elevators being broken, and it's not just one elevator bug. It's
been multiple.
Yeah, it's been multiple. The terminal not working, the cargo crates coming up, missing a layer or fixated in the elevator where you can't even pull them out. Like, I thought they fixed that bug, but here it is again.
That one I haven't. Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't run into that one since they did the last hot fix. But still, that
I
was
haven't been on since last hotfix.
that
so.
was a cargo issue from the last patch where you couldn't do.
You couldn't call stuff up and have it auto loaded.
Exactly. You would lose your shipments because of it, and that was the biggest frustration about mining.
Yeah. So, damn. I mean, I don't think. And out of a year of playability, is the game still playable? Yes. Is there less bugs? Kind of, sort of. That's a double-edged sword.
It really is.
Because
they fixed some things, but other things have come back to bite them in the butt.
Yeah, because as Optics is saying, a lot of people, there's multiple issues with the elevators, and there's multiple issues with the locations that they have these contracts going to. At first, it was you couldn't go there and land, period. There was 20, 30, 40 ships at each location.
Still are.
Yeah, and why? Hell, I put a TikTok out on this. You know, it's a ship graveyard. It's a junkyard issue right now at these locations. But at first, it was the contracts wouldn't show up. You'd have one show up, and then another player would take it, and then you'd have to wait until that player completed it for it to pop back up. And then as we went on and on and on and on, the elevator issues just got worse and worse and worse. Like the first couple nights that me and Knight were doing this, we were able to find, we were able to go to almost every location and find a working elevator. 1 out of 3 or 4 that were at these locations. And occasionally we'd select I'm going to just use Perlman as an example, HDMS Perlman. We'd select Perlman, we'd get there, we'd land, we'd check the elevator, okay, it's not working. We drop that contract, and then we'd head over to another HDMS site, because the moons are better to do these than the planet side because it takes way too long to get out of Atmo. And we might have to go to 1, maybe 2 other locations, and we'd find a working elevator. Maybe it was just 1 out of the 3, or 2 of them were working, but we still were able to fully load a C2. We were able to fully load, a Caterpillar. We had that thing loaded to the busting at the seams.
Yep.
And they'd hotfix. Might be better for a few hours, and then
it just falls apart again.
Yep, it just broke. This is a rough one, dude. This was a rough event.
I honestly have not been on all week. And one of the newest issues, and I don't know if this is a bug or if it's something that they intentionally designed to get around, to stop people from doing one of the workarounds that I imagine a lot of people have been doing to complete these missions. And it happened to me earlier because I was flying my C2 around trying to get more cargo to complete these contracts, and even if your C2 is floating, I'll say 30 to 40 meters away from the elevator, the freight elevator at the location you're picking up the cargo at will actually register that the C2 is in the way. It doesn't matter what pad you're on. I was running into the issue where I'd call up I'd land perfectly fine, nothing wrong. Put my ship on the pad, I get down, call up the first 18 cargo box load of cargo, and finish loading that on the C2. And when I call up the second one, it'd say, your C2 is on the elevator and we can't call up. It's like it's overloaded. I'm like, the C2 is nowhere near the elevator. This should not be registering.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a bug
It,
or if it's some kind of boundary that they've added to try to help alleviate some of the ships being stuck there or whatever it might be. But that I haven't seen any evidence of that helping. So
I saw
uh,
a video or a picture, sorry, on one of the Facebook groups that I follow, and it almost looked like artifacting to me, but there was this zone around the hangars or the elevators, and I'm looking at it. I'm going, "What the fuck is that?" You know, because it like seriously looked like artifacting, and I'm thinking that's what you're saying. It's almost like this proximity sensor, you know, and if your ship's too close, then it's tripping up an error.
yeah.
And yet, but
Like
you're saying
there's-
30, 40 meters. I mean,
yeah.
people don't realize how far a meter is. I mean, you're talking 100 and some odd feet away.
Yeah.
And
I was doing cargo last week, and my ship was a full ship length away from the elevator, and it was still registering that, hey, this is in the way. We can't do anything about it. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I mean, the elevators, when you've got an event that is cargo driven, whether you're going to these locations and you're calling up the boxes, or you're going and you're mining this stuff, and people have run into this issue too, is because that auto load bug is back.
Mm-hmm.
To where if you auto load, so if you mine it, you refine it, and then you load it onto the ship you're going to use through the refinery screen, it's going to be stuck to your ship. You got to send it to the station first, and then you got to hand load it. Now, for some people, that's annoying, but it's a gameplay loop. You are a cargo runner. You know, it's not like in the aspect of a lot of truckers today. They back into a fully loaded trailer and they pull out, they go to the location and they get offloaded. Cool. But in a video game, this isn't trucking simulator. You actually have to get out, offload, and that is another thing that adds the risk of the game into it, is you may not always survive the offload if it's on a hostile moon or if it's not in the safety of your hangar. Like, being able to get into a firefight in your hangar, I think, would be kind of cool. If somebody could be outside, they see you land, and then they could start shooting at the hangar door to get it to come in and then try and rob you. That'd be a pretty cool freaking little gameplay loop there.
That would be interesting, especially having like armistice zones.
Those are going to be going bye-bye. Armistice zones are not a permanent thing. The security forces in these systems are going to be running security at these stations. So armistice zones are not a forever thing. CIG has said that in the past. They are temporary.
So you'll be able to shoot and rob people inside the space stations.
I don't know about inside because you got all the security guards there. They're going to blast you away pretty damn quick, and I'm pretty sure that AI is going to be set to like 20.
Maximum?
But yeah, that AI is going to have to be maximum. And then crime stats are going to have to be very juiced up.
Severe, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think, this is
Chrono.
If it ever got to the point where they took away the armistice zones in the space stations, I don't know if I'd actually play this game.
Yeah, they're going
because
to.
There's always got to be some kind of safe space. If it's like, you need to have some respite from like PvP.
To
Don't
a
get me wrong,
degree, they're still going to be safe.
You go out into the real world, and you can't expect to be safe like anywhere, period. But
yeah,
historically, well, that's also another thing. That's another argument they could have, that CIG is trying to do something completely different and go against what all the other game rules are. But a lot of people are used to, if you're going to go out and do missions, you can come back to a home place where you can go into your menus, you can go into whatever you need to do, you can You can hit the pause screen without fear of dying or whatever, because you got to walk away and take a leak.
Well,
You know?
you know how the stations are now, right? You know,
Yeah.
so it used to be once you flew into the range of that station, your weapons were locked, they were shut down. Kind of
They
how it is
still
planet
are
side.
in some areas. Yeah, planet side. They
At
definitely are.
planet side, they're still locked down. You can't use them. But in space, your weapons are live up until you're inside your hangar.
Well, when you get in your hangar, that's when Armistice Zone is.
Oh no! Like when we fly in, so when we get on tonight, when you're flying into, let's say, Port Tressler,
Mhm.
from an outside, your guns work the entire time. They're not shut down. Yeah. So they've reduced the armistice zones. I think they did it in 4.0. Cause it was in 4.0. They reduced the armistice zones around the space stations. I don't find an issue with that because I'm not a PvE player. I enjoy the conflict in games like this. You know, obviously, Battlefield and Call of Duty, those games are PvP with a little bit of PvE because you do run into bots in Warzone. But Star Citizen was told it's going to be a giant universe. So when it comes down to them finally taking down armistice zones, you're going to have the Navy, you're going to have security forces who are going to, sadly, the player's going to have to get a crime stat, but I think it's going to be a pretty rapidly aggressing crime stat. Like you hit a ship with your guns once, that's a crime stat too. And then, if you continue attacking that player before you take them down, your crime stat goes to a 4 or a 5 if you're close to a station.
That's like going from a misdemeanor to a felony.
Yeah, because now not only have you now assaulted the person, but you're continually to assault them. You're creating bodily harm, so now the charges get worse and worse and worse and worse, up until attempted murder. And then that's when, obviously, I'm just going to call it SWAT team. SWAT team comes in and takes care of your butt because you're being a dick. But, yeah, I mean, certain systems are going to have higher security levels. Like, obviously, Nyx and Pyro. Pyro is lawless, so unless you manage to piss off whoever's running that station, it's not going to fire back at you. But other systems, yeah. So, do you think they're going to extend 4.2? Because 4.3 is already an Evocati.
I saw something the other day that 4.3 was going to be delayed. And I don't know if that was an official or if it's got because maybe they had higher expectations and it was supposed to be an Evocati the week that 4.2.1 went live, but instead they had to put out fires left and right, so it's been delayed several weeks.
I mean, there's a ton of bug fixes on 4.3 already. That's good. Okay, now, mind you, bug fixes, for those who don't understand, is hot fixes fix minor bugs. Stuff they can hot fix, stuff they can fix on the fly. There are bugs out in Star Citizen that require a standalone patch. And that's what 4.3 is going to bring, because I'm looking at here, they've got 2 things right here just for cargo elevators. Resource gathering, missions. Medical beacons cannot be set when players are down. Yeah, a lot of missions, a lot of the new stuff that they've put in, they've got potential fixes for. So,
okay,
I would like to see them delay it. I'd like to see them roll out a 4.2.2 patch, to be honest. Fix the elevators. The hot fixes aren't doing it.
No, they're making them worse.
Yeah.
I honestly, I want 4.2.1 to be over to some degree, because I'm already over it, and a lot of people are already over it. The whole the box or the ship, the whole cargo loop is.
Oh,
It looked exciting because it was industrious, but the bugs are creating the problem because it's making it unplayable. Nobody can get the freight and everything. So
I got my Hurston armor.
I would nice.
Yeah, I'm done.
I would like to see. I would like to see them get like move beyond 4.2.1, but at the same time, I want them to make sure that they get it right when they move on to 4.3 and not just give us the same
Jehovah thickness. Thank you for the follow.
Big issue that they had in 4.2.1. I don't want to see another 4.2.1 because whenever I see CIG make a good patch and it comes out and like, oh wow, the surface is really smooth and everything's working really great, and like with the Valcar worm, it
worked.
wasn't a bad patch. It worked.
Yeah, 4.2 worked.
Cargo, and then it just took a huge leap back, and I lost it. Like, I think this is the first time I've significantly been like, wow, this is. I would definitely not want to introduce anybody to play this game right now because it's not playable. Because every time, so I've had to explain this to a few people that I've introduced to Star Citizen. I'm like, okay, so by the way, there are bugs. You have to know it's still in development. They're creating a lot of new things, but there are exciting things about the game that you're going to enjoy. You just have to have some patience with it.
Yes.
And then when I get into explaining the missions, I'm like, okay, so this mission, we have to go out and collect this cargo and take it back to one of the home bases. But there's a chance that we're not going to be able to collect the cargo because the game doesn't work. And then, oh, this doesn't work because the elevator, or I can't call this up because my ship is too big for this pad, or there's some random thing that I can't even explain. It happens like that. It's frustrating.
Yeah, and sadly, a lot of these issues, again, can't be fixed without shutting down game servers, without rolling out new patches. Now, dynamic server meshing will help when they finally activate it. It's damn near done from what they teased on. I think it was one of the bar citizens. Someone asked about dynamic, and they said they were like 80% of the way there. So that comes online. A lot of these bugs that are, I think, client side and a mixture of server side will be alleviated because they can just roll out a hotfix on one server, and it's going to migrate across all of them within a timely manner, which is what they've been trying to do with the hotfix channel. As Jehovah Thickness said, he wants to call cargo elevators to work during cargo missions. We are 100% right there with you. Me and Knight and everyone else in chat are just aggravated that they launched an event, and me and Knight talked about this in our last episode when we thought that 4.21 was going to go into another release candidate, and it didn't. 4.21 should have stayed on the PTU for a few more weeks. Listen, a player is going to understand if a patch is delayed by a week because you're ironing it out. You're fixing things. It'll be a better, well-received patch.
I was just laughing. I was just laughing because I was just thinking, hey, we've waited 12. Well, a lot of you have waited 12 years for 1.0 to come out. I think we could wait a few weeks longer for a patch to come out and be better than what it was.
I mean, you look at Squadron. They said Squadron would release in 2019. 6 years later, we're still waiting, and guess what? We're okay with it. Hold on, let me go through here. This one's directed towards you, Knight.
Ooh, what?
Optics. Hangars may be my safe place. Just don't let Knight in your hangar when moving 10 torpedoes. He likes to shoot them for science. I'd love to be in the meeting for these fixes. Do they go? That would be a great idea, but mainly go, fuck it. It'll have to wait a few months. Crazy enough, I've never had much of any problems with elevators until this event. Agreed. again, 4.21 is a nightmare of a patch. The event's broken. The only way to really consistently do it is to mine it or pirate it. You know, or be a pirate. Okay, that's not true. Sorry. You've got the combat missions
I was
where
just
you
gonna
can
say,
go.
I'm doing those right now, so that is an option. But at the same time, if you prefer a specific game loop, it kind of forces you to do things that either you don't want to do or you're not entirely sure of. Which it's good to explore inside the game, but if and we've got a couple of people in medic that just want to run medic, and if you're forcing to do things that they don't want to, then it's not fun for them.
I mean, if they plan on extending 4.21 another week or two, I don't think 4.3 is going to come out anytime soon. I mean, hell, it's only August 2nd. The fact that they're putting it in Evocati, I would really hope they leave it in Evocati for a few weeks. Maybe all waves for a few weeks, mainly because Evocati is a select group of people. There's not a massive stress load that they can pull, which is why the servers are borking out, because the amount of people doing the same thing and the amount of cargo that's the servers having to render and then register, that it's physicalized, and you know, all this fun coding jargon. But extend it. I mean, we know it's going to run all the way till 4.3. 4.3 should not launch, I want to say, till the end of August. You've got an entire month to polish it, to get the bugs worked out, to fix 4.2.1. If you got to do a 4.2.2 patch just to fix the elevators, fucking do it, CIG. Yes, you can mine and move cargo like a boss, Mr. Optics. We know that. Or they leave it as is. They call it a loss, which is going to piss off a lot of your player base. And then what's going to happen come IAE week, where it's another ship sale event, where then in a couple months after that, you got CitizenCon. Your player base is going to be pissed at you.
There's already been some outrage that they're like, I know this is from different people's perspectives, but it always seems that to them, whenever they have a ship sale or whenever they really, really need to look good, things are working wonderfully, but the in-betweens aren't working so well, which is a bit annoying. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that kind of does look that way. And it kind of puts them on the same category as that whole Flight Blade pay-to-win scandal that happens back during
the Flight Blades that actually did nothing to improve your ship.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, are you guys really trying to make things good? Like, are you only putting the effort in when it really counts, or are you actually? I don't doubt they're working their butts off. If people are working for CIG to develop this game, they're obviously they had to have taken the job because they wanted to, and they have some passion for the game. And I imagine some of the devs go home and play it at the end of the night and aren't sick of trying to code it and everything. So there's got to be some level of, yeah, I'm proud of this, I want to make it look good, but at the same time, like, make it look good all the time, not just when the money's got to come in. Sorry, that was a random tangent.
No, I mean, you're 100% correct, because it goes back to the old adage: if you polish a turd, is it still a turd?
It is still a turd.
I mean, so CIG can sit here and polish the game. Okay, like every event they come out with these badass trailers, and I'm like, cool. They're not the only studio that does that. Call of Duty does it. Battlefield does it. Fortnite did it. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah, they still do it.
I went, no, I don't play that fucking game. It's too kiddie for me. Oh,
Astropub, holy cow.
what is going on, Astro Pub? What's up?
New follower.
Welcome to Citizen Talk.
Welcome, everybody. And I mean everybody. Holy sh...
We're just a new and
New follower.
I'm gonna let that keep going. I might have to turn the volume down on those.
Let that catch up for a second. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
New follower.
How's everyone doing today? Are you guys just as frustrated with 4.21 as we are?
New follower.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, before that happened, what were we talking about? Because that completely caught me off guard.
New follower.
Astropub actually sees me in his chats all the time. I go by Evil Tactics, and
New
we're
follower.
the host of Citizen Talk. So how you guys doing? How was your stream? What did it go well? Hey.
New follower.
Okay, so while you're catching up on everything, a few
New
things
follower.
if anybody wants to contribute to it. We were just talking about
I'm gonna fix this quickly. Hold on.
our main topics were the woes of 4.2.
New follower.
We've talked about elevators. We've talked about the terminals at the mission start points not working, the ships that
New
clutter
follower.
the platforms, and then we were just talking about does CIG delay
New
4.3 and prioritize putting together maybe a 4.2.2, make sure the elevators are fixed, and make sure that we're happy with what
New
the gameplay is
follower.
like, not just CIG happy with it, but the players happy with it, and maybe postpone
New
4.3
follower.
until late August, maybe early September.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things.
New follower.
I am trying to turn that alert box down. Jesus. Go figure.
Japan found that Hathor seems broken as well.
New
I haven't
follower.
actually tried doing Hathor in a hot minute. I did a little bit of Hathor when the Valacar worm
New
was a thing
follower.
back in 4.1.1. But I haven't actually gone back to Hathor, so that's another good point. Like, what other game loops that we have done in
New
the past
follower.
have broken?
What haven't they broken?
That's very true.
New follower.
I mean, as much as. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to fix the alerts right now. There we go. Okay. Whatever. Sorry, y'all blew my mind with this. Let's just go through chat quickly. Oh my god, I was not expecting that. You were doing the captain's table? Sweet. I'm gonna have to watch it because we were obviously doing this. How long did it go for? I know your captain tables can be anywhere from a few hours to many hours. It's a bit frustrated, but I'm one mission away from finishing it. Nice. Yeah, I did Hurston, and then I said enough. Plus, I just started a new job on Monday, so we have officially moved Citizen Talk from Wednesdays to Saturdays.
I think the weekends will be a lot better. Plus, this segues into our org night when we go play on Saturday night. So that'll be a much better for our schedules.
Yes, be a lot better. That is all. Why don't you take that for a second here, Knight? I'm going to finish touching up on a few things so when people follow, it's not killing my ears. Because I apologize, guys.
I can't hear a thing.
I know you can't hear a thing, but I can.
Rub it in, rub it in. Okay. Okay. So along the same lines of the whole 4.2.1 and extension issue, how does CIG move past this? Does do they just move on and say, okay, if you didn't complete it, tough luck? Maybe next time. Does it continue to go on in some way, shape, or form so you can still get all of the awards that are issued during this patch? Or do you piss off all the people that have put the tried and true effort into getting the contracts done, and you just say, okay, as long as you put effort towards it, we'll reward it to you anyway, and here's the clear winners?
That's a good question.
I bring up that last point because in the past, and I know, Evil, you don't play Fortnite, but I have in the past, and what they usually do is if you don't complete the reward at the end of the season or patch or whatever it might be, as long as you logged on and put some effort into the game, they will award it to you regardless of you putting any effort into the actual season. Which it's a tricky balance, because you have the people that are going to say, well, I put all of this effort into it, and the people that didn't put the effort into it shouldn't get the rewards. But on the flip side, some people are like, well, it doesn't really matter. I play the game for the game loop and the experience, and if somebody else gets the rewards don't really matter to me. And then you got the people that also just get the really, really, really short end of the stick and have been trying, and no matter what they do, whether it's an error client side or server side, they just can't complete the missions. So at that point, they're like, well, I couldn't participate, so therefore CIG, you took away my ability to get those rewards, so you should give them to me anyway.
I mean,
So
that is a good thing. Could they do it that way? Yeah, they really could. But then again, you know, obviously I haven't checked the list. Who is winning? Is it still Hurston, or has anyone caught up?
I was just looking at that because that's the next part of this this portion. Hurston is currently in the lead.
Okay.
With 178,129,440 SEUs. Microtech is in second place, trailing by about 50,000, give or take. 20 to 70. Yeah, they're trailing about 50 million. It's 100 and they're at 119,368,832 SEUs. And then behind that is Crusader and ArcCorp. Both are in the 80s, the 80 million range.
So I'm going to agree with Shadow Stalker here. To a degree, that's a double-edged sword in the aspect. For those who have actually been attempting. Now, I don't think everyone out there should get the rewards for free. You know, because there's those of us that have been grinding and figuring out workarounds. Like me and Knight, we're going from station to station to station, or location. I sound like a realtor.
Location.
To try and get these missions to work. And the biggest problem was sometimes the elevators worked, sometimes they were overloaded, which, you know, again, we know the elevator system is being reworked from the ground up. I mean, that includes the transit. So we know all that's being reworked. Is it broken? Should they have released an event that is so dependent on a broken system? I don't think so. I get some of that might have to have been stress testing, but
playing devil's advocate, there could be the possibility that they needed to send this out to find all the bugs to work out, because you mentioned this earlier, you've got hundreds of people trying to do the same thing all at the same time in these elevators, and the data they can pull to see, you know, like this broke because of this, or this broke because of that. And whenever you have 5 players in the same location at the same time, this trips that. Or if you have, you know, a weird one-off, if you have 50 people in the same shard as you, that happens to trip the elevators. You never know. It could be data collection.
Yeah, and I mean, you got people out there doing the cargo elevator side of it. You got people out there doing the mining, and then you've got everyone else doing the combat missions or the reclaim the ships missions. You know, so there's luckily
New follower.
that didn't even change the volume. Whatever. There's a lot to do with everything, but at the same time, it's one of those things. It's just how do we get around the bugs, and how does this event shape the future for future events? Because we've had our cargo. This is now 2 back-to-back major events focused on cargo. We had the one where Copper and Corundum were paying ridiculous amounts, which utilized cargo elevators, and I don't know. They dropped they dropped the ball on this. I feel. I mean, I sound like a broken record there, but.
Frustration aside, I really, really, really hope that for all the players' sakes and for CIG's sake, that they actually learn something from this, and it's just not at the end of all this. And when they move into 4.3, I hope they're not just sitting around going, "Okay, what the hell just happened?" I really hope that they are able to learn and build off of it instead of just, whatever, it's a bad patch.
We've been saying that for 13 years.
I know.
I've been saying that for the last 10 since I started back in this game.
The progress in the last 5 months alone has been phenomenal, even from what you've told me and what I've experienced. I've been playing the game, by the way, since February of this year. I've got 4 pledged ships. I want my ironclad. Evil wants his ironclad.
I want my ironclad, damn it.
But based on what I've seen, the improvements that they made in the last 5 months have actually impressed me, because with the amount of detail and level of complexity that this game requires, it's impressive that it's not completely broken.
Oh God, yeah.
So they are learning to some degree, but I hope they learn something that helps them a little bit more for the next patch. And 1.0.
Yeah, I agree 100%. There's, I'm going to rerun a follow quickly. I want to see if this fixed.
At least it's not 3.18. I heard about that patch.
No, please.
New follower.
That's better.
I'm
That's
sorry.
not as loud.
I just triggered, triggered his PTSD.
Dude, flying from station to planet and Quantum taking you straight into the damn planet and killing you and you losing everything. No. We're not going back. I hope not. Yeah, CIG has had these issues, QPAN, for a while. They just don't have the data. And was this a massive stress test? I mean, hell, you're talking servers with 500 players on average, maybe 600 per server. I mean, they're getting a lot of information. Yeah, they are working on redoing Quantum, which is, from what I've seen, is going to look, it's going to look amazing. It's going to sound amazing.
I want it to work amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I wish CIG would. Again, 4.21 should have stayed in the oven a little longer. We talked about it on a future episode, or on a past episode of Citizen Talk. It should have.
It definitely should have marinated a little bit longer.
Yeah. Just ready for engineering and other items yeeted from 4.0. Ready for the medical loop. Yes. You missed it earlier, Dibley. We were talking about the Apollo series ships and how there's not really a use case for them yet, but there will be. How about the change from 2? You're bringing back too much PTSD, you guys. I love it, but oh man, yeah, I don't know. I think if they're going to extend it, then tell people you're going to extend it. Like, if you're delaying 4.3 because you want to fix these bugs and you want to get everything operational for the next cargo event, let us know. Just tell us. As the player base, we will understand. Some will, some won't. You're always going to have those trolls out there who are just going to, pardon my language for anyone who coming in. I'm military family, so I tend to swear. Who just don't give a shit, and they're going to want to shit on the game as a whole. Like, everyone calls it scam citizen or citizen scam, you know. But for a game that's been in development for the last 13 years, I mean, it's moving along. You look at some of these other games that have taken 20 years to develop. I mean, hell, look at GTA 6 or 7.
Yeah.
6. Yeah,
That just reminded me of something.
These games have been in development since the last one. There's not that's an alert cat. Don't attack my monitor. It's going to attack my monitor. Don't do it. Astro Otter said, I think regardless of how long a patch is left in the PTU, makes no difference, as it just is not getting the number of applause a patch like this. Yes, I don't think there's enough people playing in the patch servers to properly stress them. I just accept as and Dibley again. I just accept as a 2017 backer that there are many days I'll have the usual experience. FUSC. I'll see you tomorrow, and here I am again. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. It's an interesting.
I need to go back and actually take a look. Something just occurred to me because I'm not familiar with it. Again, I'm still fairly new to Star Citizen, only having played and backed since February. Do new players or people that are interested in helping with game development, are they aware that the PTU exists and what it's for? Because I didn't know when I got the game, I was just told, make sure when you download the game, you select the live version. And PTU is something else.
Yes, PTU is the public test universe.
Yeah, I did not know that when I originally signed up and got the game. So I'm curious, is there anything currently out there that labels the PTU when you go to download it? Because every experience I've seen so far, every warning labels on every freaking thing that you go into. This is alpha, you're going to experience bugs and things. There's nothing that says, hey, this version is a active test environment and your input is appreciated or something like that,
Yeah, so
like a survey server.
As QPan said, it's patience testing universe. You are 100% correct there. And then Aubrey mentioned that they did push people out of the PTU. Yes, the PTU used to be available for like everyone. They didn't do this waves thing at first. It was Evocati, and then it was open to everyone. Then they started doing wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then now it's all backers. There is a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen that says, hey, you're playing in the public test universe.
Yeah, but you don't see that until you actually open it up.
Well, and the way they make you install it, you have to copy your character into the PTU, which you got to go to do that through the RSI website, which is not, laid out in the best way that it could be either.
That's the thing. Communication could solve a lot of problems.
Yes. CIG's communication has actually dwindled, in my opinion. The roadmap used to kind of give you a clear idea of where things were heading, and then they stopped updating it. They've gone to using more Spectrum and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, everyone in chat is bringing up beautiful points on why they don't want to test it out is because, majority of people don't want to test the game. They just want to play it. And
That's true.
as backers, as a backer, it really doesn't matter how long you've been in the Star Citizen universe. You're a tester day in and day out. This is not a finished game. This is not something that is going to be done in the next year, maybe two, even though fingers crossed that once Squadron 42 releases, all hands will be forced onto the Star Citizen side of things, and we might actually see rapid changes and rapid fixes on a lot of stuff that, they've probably fixed a lot of this stuff in the Squadron 42 code. They just haven't been able to brought it in. Instead of what they've done is they've turned on the water valve on the lowest trickle, and stuff is slowly bleeding through from the Squadron 42 files into Star Citizens, which then again is going to lead to more bugs because you've got something that is perfectly fine and working on the Squadron 42 side, but it's broken in Star Citizen. So now you got things conflicting with one another. But there's so much potential out here for 4.3. And the new locations, okay. They did say that they're not going to be ready for 4.3.
I was gonna say, like, the next point was gonna be 4.3, the new cooperative underground zones. How is that coming along?
They've changed it. They changed it on the card. They're no longer calling them cooperative zones. They are now the Onyx facilities.
Okay.
And they have
that's like changing a working title. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm
fine with that. Some people are freaking out because they're thinking that they're taking the PvE thing out of the game and that they're not going to be those types of zones, even though everything I'm seeing on leaks and whatnot still tells me that these are going to be PvE zones. Yeah. Cooperative zones were pushed back because they're not going to be ready in 4.3. The Onyx zones will be. But, hey, if it's not working, you let us know it's not ready. You're pushing it back. Thank you. Just keep doing it right. Because that's what we need. Yeah. Yeah, as Swift said, words. They use the same locations. Yes, a lot more people. Dido. A lot more. Astropub, I want to thank you again for that raid, dude. You, sir, are a legend. Especially when you're dancing around with your helmet on. That is just entertainment.
Your content gold right there.
Yes. CIG's theory crafting failures will make co-op zones impossible to secure. Yeah, maybe. Some people are thinking that they were going to be instanced. I don't know. Applaud the tiers that are on the PU doing what they can. Appreciate their efforts, even though I don't care for content or playability until all features are rammed in. As you all talked about earlier. Yeah. But see, being a content creator, the bugs in Star Citizen make for some pretty interesting moments.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Like when me and Knight are flying in as Polaris, and we've got two F8s, and we're going to do these Foxbell missions, and all of a sudden I run to the hangar and goes, "Where's my ship?" I have to use his. I'm just like, okay. It disappeared.
Your ship phased through mine when we went into Quantum. Apparently, your ship being inside mine wasn't safe because your ship wasn't part of my stuff. I don't know. I
still
don't know where it went.
Server A didn't communicate with Server B that there was a ship, two ships in there.
Some teenager found a random F8,
just floating out in space.
Yeah, a Super Hornet floating on space. Oh, look what I found.
Yeah, as Maverick
So-
said, it's the tech for the co-op zones that they have pushed back. So maybe it is that there's going to be something that's going to help you lock these zones down, being in a party or something like that, or whatnot. I don't know how they're going to implement these zones because they really haven't discussed much of it. But 4.3, it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. I mean, I'm looking forward to going in and exploring the Onyx locations. I would have preferred to go and done the co-op zones, which is a little bit of PvE, and that would be a cool little storyline. And these are going to be static zones, so they're in permanently, the Onyx facilities, and they're adding in over 100 of them.
Jeez.
Every moon in Stanton's going to have a bunch of these. So if they're bringing in content, I'm not going to complain too much. I am going to complain when it doesn't work, like we were discussing earlier with these elevator issues. Luckily, there are other stuff that you can do to complete the resource drive. But if you have the cargo hauling ships and you can't utilize them to their fullest potential,
up until the C2 bug, I was okay doing the whole single layer cargo drop off. That didn't bother me. It was when the C2 it was being recognized as being on the elevator. That was just insane. Even when I had somebody flying at 50 meters above the surface of the pad, still had your C2 was still on the elevator. You can't send the elevator down or up. It's too heavy.
Well, that was one of the great things. We timed ourselves loading a C2. And from nose to butt, we got that thing loaded in 20 minutes. Just me and Knight. We figured out the two ATLS thing, and then even offloading. We had that offloaded in 10 minutes?
Yeah. Well, we didn't make a mess of it, but yeah.
Or even if we were loading a raft, one of us is inside the elevator, and we're just launching crates out, and someone else is just picking them up. Boom, boom, boom. We're out of a location in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we had that done really quick.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got this guy. Have you seen this? The elevator dude?
No.
There is a guy out there in the universe right now. All he does is sits at a location in a ATLS or with his max lift, and he is loading ships as they come. He is known as the elevator guy. I mean, you got people that are out there doing things like that. Spooks 2, is he the elevator guy? Yes. I mean, you got people like that in this game.
That's what Chrono was gonna do after a little while. He said he was gonna retire from moving all the cargo and everything. And once he was done with all the contracts, he was gonna buy a couch, put it on a ship, put the couch at a one of the pickup locations, and bring in a store all with a bunch of beer in it, and he's just gonna sit there all day and help ships load.
Sorry, I had to tell the wife I need more water. Yeah, no, I mean, so tonight's Organite is going to be fun. Let's try and get back on track here. Well, we kind of actually went over everything.
Yeah, I think unless there's anything else you want to touch on, whenever you
let's
switch the
ask,
next topic, it's a preview of next episode. So
let's ask chat some questions here, guys.
I was gonna say we could talk to them.
Yeah. So, for those of you who are just now joining us or who came over from Astropub, thank you again. I got a question for you guys, or a couple of them. What is the one ship that you guys are waiting for that isn't a capital ship?
Ironclad.
Yeah, how could ask questions? What could go wrong? Hey, I don't care what you ask. What are some of the ships you guys are excited for? What's a gameplay loop that you guys want to see added in around certain ships? Because I can list a few off for myself, but I want to hear what you guys. Perseus. All right.
I don't have a good one. Perseus because big boomsticks. It's a good reason.
An Argos Salvager. I agree. The Arasta. Yeah. Apollo. I think
Galaxy
Apollo's
Apollo.
coming. I think that's going to be IE.
It's on its way. It's nearing end of production, so
A rocket Shrike. Okay. Yeah, I can see those. Apollo to pick up the pieces from the big boomsticks. Yes. That's where we need a. One of mine, guys, is a Reclaimer rework. That ship has got so much potential. We don't have the drones functioning yet. We don't. Offloading that thing is a complete and utter nightmare. I'd love a Reclaimer rework. The Arastra, yes, because that's another mining ship. Medium salvaging, yes. Yes, a medium between the Vulture and the Reclaimer. No, the Reclaimer should not be left behind. I agree 100%. The Galaxy would be nice. I want to say that's probably going to be coming sometime after the Perseus because I think it's going to share a lot of the finished. What's the word I'm looking for here? Assets. Everyone wants their Perseus. I want my Ironclad, damn it. This would have been a perfect mission for an Ironclad.
It would have been.
This event. Medium salvage. Yeah. A mole, but for salvage. Yeah, the mole could do it.
Yep.
The mole could definitely do it. Actually, if you take the raft, give it the salvage arms from, or the mining lasers from the mole, but turn those into salvage arms, and then you would have 180 some odd, no, 190 some odd SCUs that would get attached to the cargo grid automatically on the raft would be nice. They could turn that into a variant. Wouldn't take them much to do so, I think. Yeah, they've been releasing a lot of variants. And I don't quite understand it, but at the same time, I do, because if one ship's already complete, changing a few things on it, adding guns to it, takes less time than building it from the ground up. So
yeah, you're just taking a component and trying to connect it.
Yeah, so I do understand that. Yeah, because the Reclaimer can break capital ships. But then again, it doesn't hold enough SCU, so you need a couple Reclaimers out there for when you do break the, like an Idris or a Polaris, you can grab everything.
I think the loop of having a Reclaimer and then somebody running a cargo to empty the
New
Reclaimer is a
follower.
perfect way to do that. Kind of like you can do with mining, but the bottleneck on that is the Reclaimer's design. It needs a better way to offload because that little poop elevator out the back is just not the way to go.
Yeah, as
I
Pan just said, right as you said that.
Yep.
It really does. Like, if we're not going to utilize the muncher, that's what I'm going to call it, that whole underbelly that just munches all the cargo up, if that's not going to be a thing, then delete that. Give us a cargo. Honestly, they kind of did it with the Prowler utility. Make the cargo on the reclaimer sprawl open like that to where you can just drop everything. Yeah, there's a lot of different features on the reclaimer that I would love to see, and a lot of other ships that could be done pretty well if CIG just takes the time to rework them. But I do think a rework for the reclaimer is coming. Maybe not this year, but I think it's around the corner. Maybe next year, maybe after 1.0, we'll see that ship get some love, because the original development team that made the reclaimer is not with the studios anymore. That's another big thing with the Connies. I think most of that team that designed the Connies isn't even with them anymore, because those are some of the oldest ships in the game. An automated pooper. Yeah.
Some kind of conveyor that just like slides the cargo out. That would be nice. I mean, heck, they've got an airlock on the back of the Idris bridge that doesn't even do anything. Why can't they have a airlock on the back of the reclaimer? Just open up the back doors.
Yeah. Scape says if we got the life support functions they have theorized in the past, it could get exterior doors into the bay, just turn off the cargo grid and vac all the cargo. True. Dibley says, I actually love the fact that my Connie Andromeda flies like a whale now. It makes me believe the Scorpius... Yeah. Yeah, ships are definitely more sluggish based on their size. I mean, the flight rework is definitely feelable, and I'm enjoying it. All right. Next Saturday, based on how 4.3 progresses, we already know, they've already said it, that they are not, I'll read this, due to a respawn issue, we are holding to just Evocati for now, while we look to see if this is hot fixable. If not, we will need to hold further waves until Monday for a full new build. They will have updates a little later today. So, they're having an issue with respawning. Is this another ploy into the resource drive? Like, how many of you guys in chat, when they first implemented the regen crisis, noticed that you set your spawn to one location and it spit you out somewhere else? Do you think that was a bug, or do you think that was part of the story?
I think that was part of the story. I think they were testing how the story would go, but that's my personal opinion.
I think it was if it was a bug, it was an interesting one, because it made you have to. If you're in a ship battle at Hathor here and you die, and all of a sudden you're back at New Babbage, you're just like, damn it.
I'll be there in 10 minutes, guys.
Exactly. It was a bug, but it worked for the story. See, and that's where I say this as a content creator. Star Citizen bugs give you content.
They do. They really do.
They really, really do. But yeah, so 4.3 might be delayed, which might give the resource drive a little longer of a run. Now, mind you, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think these events need to go longer than a month, or a few weeks, because it just seems like they're pushing these events out way too quickly. They're not working on them long enough. The stuff needs time in the oven to bake.
Bugs, but bugs that work for the story. I think that's called plot armor.
Yeah, maybe. Qpan says, I think it depends. I feel CIG really wants to respawn at the nearest hospital, not across systems. True. Because if your spawn's in Pyro, you die in Stanton. How's that information getting back to Pyro? They haven't dictated anything like subspace communication or, I mean, I'm going to go back to Trekkie days here. How are we communicating that far? Each of the comm relays is going to have to send your information, but then again, there are no comm relays in Pyro.
It's a very valid point.
So, how's it work? Star Citizen Pony Express. Paul's actually covered this during office hours a couple times. Yeah.
Just imagine the data running loop would have to include like running regen information through the wormhole, and that's how you regen. And that's why it takes so long to respawn.
That is actually one thing. You just brought up a gameplay loop that everyone wants in the game. The data running. Well, regen is supposed to work on quantum entanglements. And yet we have a game where we don't even have, what was it? We're futuristic, but there was like, I already forgot it. Damn it. We were talking about it last week. Regen is actually still an alien technology humanity stole from the Vanduls. So, yes, it's very new. That is true. I do remember that. I do watch a lot of his lore videos. Yes. Don't ask me for lore. That's Astro's job. Not mine. I just enjoy, like, literally, I would sit at work for 8 hours and then I'd go through lore video after lore video after lore video, just having to go through my headset. Because it just made time go by, and I'm just like, hey, why not?
I don't read. I just wait for Paul to read for us and to us. That's love it.
Yeah. Well, that's why the regen crisis is such a big deal. Like Shadow said, is the proverbial shit has hit the fan because it's stolen alien tech that we have reverse engineered to work for humanity, and now that is breaking, everyone's in a panic. Which, okay, I will say one thing about this. When they implemented the regen crisis and they showed in all the videos that you would see all the body bags in the hospital, where were those body bags in game? How do you dispose of that many dead bodies? Should we have a transport function where we just load a caterpillar up and fly towards the sun and just dump all the bodies in the sun? We can't hear you, Knight.
Oh, I hit my push to talk button and it automatically muted me. It's on my floor. I've got a pedal on my floor that does my push to talk for Org Night chat. I was gonna say, you were talking about body disposal and everything. I'm like, is that the waste we've been hauling for all this time?
Right.
We don't ever crack open the boxes. We just haul them.
Yeah. What is actually in all that scrap and waste? What are we sending the Pyro?
Body scraps.
All the dead
and
bodies.
waste.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many gameplay loops I want to see. Data running, medical. I want to see more mining missions. Definitely salvage, like heavy salvage missions, like down Idrises, down Polarises.
Yeah. Crafting.
Let us like CIG Mystic game loop with all these abandoned ships at these points of interest for the elevators. When you got 20, 30 ships, we should have the ability to go tow those ships out of there and scrape them. Pay the player because they're doing you a service.
Ooh.
Remember when the waste contract box was a mission and it was slosh? Yeah.
Yeah, ugh. I'm not touching waste anymore.
It's not dehydrated waste.
Nope.
But like they
Nope.
missed a gameplay loop with this, with all these abandoned ships. Like,
I missed a couple.
yeah. Like let the salvages go in there and do their job. Do what they want to do. Don't just, leave this armistice zone where you can't scrape them and you can't do any of that. Exactly. Hauling and salvaging. There was a gameplay loop right there, and they freaking missed it. And I said it on TikTok, and that video's actually going, I think it's almost 600 viewers already.
Nice.
Like, just, and I'm not the only content creator that have said it. Enterprise has said it. Pretty sure Paul has said it. Pretty sure Space Tomato has said it. We're all saying it. Hell, Salty Mike's probably complained about it here and there.
Oh, he definitely has, because I imagine he complains about everything and anything that you can possibly complain about in Star Citizen.
He does his own thing.
That's okay. It's content, and there's points.
Yeah, there are definitely points.
New follower.
All right, I asked you guys what ships you want in the game. Let's go with another one. We've started mentioning gameplay loops. We know we have mining, we have salvaging, we have cargo. What is something CIG has not put in the game or announced that some of you guys would like to see? Okay, Planet Express. I'm going to start calling QPan Planet Express here. He wants to deliver a pizza.
Wants to deliver, dude. Food delivery would be cool. I'm into different kinds of sims, including space sims. But that, like, hi, this is Mr. B Knight with Pizza the Hut.
Can we go plaid, please?
Yes, we're going plaid.
Can we have quantum and then just plaid mode?
My ship goes ludicrous speed.
How about I jam your radar?
Wait a minute.
That sounded wrong.
As long as my radar is not a pegboard.
Oh my god, that sounded. Oh, we're going back to marbles on stream again, I guess.
Yep.
Jesus. I mean, you've mentioned in the luxury missions with like the
yeah, hauling VIP, not hauling, but like carrying VIP passengers from one side to the other. I mean, you could open up a whole bunch of different possibilities, not just for gameplay loops in game, but different people that would enjoy different aspects of the game, because a majority of the people that I've seen and talked to on this game are definitely just space sim junkies, but there's also people out there. I could imagine if you introduced VIP transportation, you could pull people who are, strictly Microsoft Flight Simulator fans, or God, do you ever remember the game Crazy Taxi?
oh god.
I know it has nothing to do with space or anything, but the object of the shove VIPs into a cutty steel. The entire purpose of Crazy Taxi was to pick up people and try to get them to their locations as quick as possible. If you didn't, you lost the game. Well, you could, have these VIP pickups, and if you're not on time, your transportation company. And that's another thing you add in here. You start developing yourself as a company instead of just an individual running around in the verse.
Org reputation, yes.
Yeah, org reputation.
I would love to see org reputation in Star Citizen. Like,
And we brought this up before, the org banks being able to pool money into
Yeah.
a wallet that is not your own, that's meant for your business.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, so and so has done all this work in the org, but they need to purchase this ship to do something next, and they're short 10 million. Instead of one person loaning out that 10 million, it comes out of the org bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I've been asking for the bank system for 3.18. No, hell, earlier than that, when they first put in the wallet system. Yeah, I've been begging for that for a while. Pathfinding. Yes, Shadowstalker, I agree. Pathfinding would be nice. I do wish they would put in some... okay, we have the Magnus Gateway. Just put in a rogue system out there that has not been discovered. You don't even mention it. You just go, hey, there's something on the other side of the Magnus Gateway. And you let people go and find it, explore it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when someone goes out and does it, they can sell that information to either Crusader or Hurston or Microtech or, so on and so forth. And then that system can do whatever they want with it. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, well, because like the history of Pyro, the lore behind Pyro sounds, the lore did it. Like, why can't we have this in the game already?
Player-induced lore.
Yeah. You say it's a player-driven universe, so technically the history should be player-driven too.
Just imagine they had the ability to log everything that you did in the game, and you could have AI like summarize it into this epic tale. Like for me for example, Mr. B Knights came into the verse in whatever the date was, and was struggling to find his feet until his business partners, the evil tactics and optics, met him and showed him the way, and then thus became the company that now is Mega Super Ship Star Builders. I don't know.
We'll leave that to Paul.
Okay.
But no,
Paul's gonna tell our tale one day.
No, you are correct. Something like that would be pretty damn cool. Like, can we start a war in the game? Like planet side too. You got two factions fighting. Like I would love to see wars like that pop off. We kind of saw it with. Someone in chat's gonna probably get to this before I do. Shit. Xenothreat. That's the word I'm looking for.
There you go.
Xenothreat. We kind of saw that, like with the Xenothreat missions and what like that. But I feel that we should be able to pick a side. Maybe there needs to be a civil war in Stanton between Hurston and other planets. And you pick a side, and then you got to travel through Hurston space, and you might get interdicted or shot at, something along those lines by Hurston security, or there's just a lot of potential out there. I think CIG could actually do with. But then again, I think part of the problem with CIG is a lot of their mission designers, they're on kind of the younger side. You guys got to get some old folks in there. I say old like I'm old, but I'm not. I feel it.
I need to cover all the demographics to make sure that you touch base on, to make it interesting for everybody. And I'm not saying you have to be all inclusive. It's just to have a game successful, everybody's got to find some kind of way to find it fun and interactive and not stale.
one thing I would love to see is, okay, so Squadron 42 takes place in, I think it's 2944, 2945. Star Citizen's date is 40 years, 40, 50 years after Squadron 42. Why don't we get the Vandal to come back in and attack Stanton again? Make the players have to go up and actually, like, just make it a system-wide, a server-wide event that just automatically pops. You don't have to accept it. It just shows up. You're not given a choice on whether or not. I mean, you can go ahead and sit on your planet, mine away, and do what? Oh, Nick at Night. Thank you for that answer. I want to see conflicts. Okay, it's 10 years. 10 years. Thank you, Johnny. I could not remember if it was 20 years. I knew we're sometime in the future. I just could not remember the exact date. Originally supposed to be only 5 years. And then production took longer. All right. Well, I don't really have much else, Knight. They said it in 2945 because it's supposed to come out in 20. Yeah. That is true. I mean, you guys have killed it tonight.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to respond to a text message. Trying to multitask. Life goes on over on this side.
I have a fussy baby. What? My daughter wants to be fed. So she's the wife's holding her off to my side and going, she's fussing. I'm going, I can see that. She's going, Daddy, feed me. Hell. Yeah, there's a lot that I want to see. Ironclad, Perseus. We need more missions that are going to utilize these capital-sized ships. You know, I mean, we kind of have that with the Foxwell missions.
A little bit, yeah. I've been using the. I know it's not supposed to be a solo ship, but I've been using the Polaris for.
Oh my God! Can we talk about that Foxwell mission that we tried doing last weekend?
The number 6.
Yes. So okay, for those of you who have not done this yet, there's a Foxwell mission out there. It's the 6th mission.
Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
It's a nightmare. And
not mercenary, right?
Yes. And not just because of the amount of ships that you have coming at you. It does not run good. We were doing it last weekend, and we averaged, I think we actually crashed a server.
Our org literally crashed the entire server. Not just like we crashed a little portion of like our corner of the server. We didn't crash a shard, we crashed the server.
Yeah.
It's red level contract support VIP clients, I believe is the one it is, where it's where you
Yeah, it's where you got to get them to, and they got to quantum out and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
We killed a server last weekend because of that, of how poorly optimized that mission is. Like, everyone in our org was getting, on average, 9 frames a second. It ran so buggy. Shadowstar says every small ship under attack mission he's done has led to a crash desktop. Like, so we had people crashing the desktop, and then even after we flew out of the mission zone, there's the baby. Hey. And the server just never recovered. Like,
Nope.
it didn't matter where we went in that server, we were all getting like 9. Because, like, when we first started the mission, the server was at 30 FPS. And then at the end of the night, before we jumped servers, this server was at 5 FPS. It was just crashing.
The
Doors
reason
weren't
why,
opening.
if nobody's ever seen that mission before, the reason why I was crashing was because you go up against like 30 or 40 enemy ships at the same time, and you have to escort these VIPs through this hostile airspace. And when we did it, we were running it with like six or seven capital ships. We had 4 Polarises, 2 Idrises, and I think somebody else had something else in sight, but there was a couple other small fighters that were floating around too. And after attempting it, the game wasn't playable. I remember you getting on my ship, and I was trying to get out of that area, and I was playing the game in PowerPoint 1995.
Oh, yeah. Like, when I pulled up the console, it was just fail. I mean, you want to mention, Shadow, the crash log. Holy crap. The amount of stuff that was failing. I mean, because we're talking at least 20, 30 fighters that we're going up against on top of 15 hammerheads or something along those lines. It was probably like 10.
Mm-hmm.
But the server could not handle it. And like, my system's no slouch.
That's the epic space battle that we all need, but it needs to be optimized.
Oh God, yeah. Like, I'm running 64 gigs of RAM, 7950X 3D processor, 4070 Ti, and that mission, my GPU wasn't even pegged at 100. My CPU was going, help. Like, you want to talk about something that needs to be optimized? Yes.
Help me.
Some of these missions, because I don't know what it is about when, like, you get a bunch of capital ships in one area, the frames just go to crap. Yes, exactly. The CPU is going, Father, help! I'm melting! Of course, my cat does not like the fact that my wife has the baby. So the cat's got to be in the baby's lap now.
The mobile blanket.
Yeah, right. Mobile heater. But while that mission was fun, like, okay, I would love to attempt that. Maybe we're just like your Polaris crewed and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because we had 6 other capital ships with us and a small fighter escort, because I was one of those fighters. And yeah.
I still want to know how your F8 came back untouched. And when I had my F8 in the back of my Polaris, and I actually got out of my Polaris at one point in my F8, and I didn't necessarily get blown to smithereens, but when I got back to my Polaris, I was hurt.
I don't know. Because, I mean, I was definitely taking some serious hits. Like, when I came into land on your Polaris after the... because I got taken out the first time, and I ended up made it back the second time, and when I finally couldn't handle it anymore, the server FPS was just trash. I was damaged, but I wasn't red. Like, I definitely had hull damage, but yeah, no, the ship was not red at all, and I'm just like, okay.
You ran into the stormtroopers of the verse.
Oh my God. Yeah. It sure as hell felt like it. I mean, that was painful. It was fun, but it was fucking painful.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's computer was just melting down because that area for that mission is just so poorly optimized.
Hmm. I'm still paying for my computer's therapy services after that last time.
Yeah, I don't know which system of
Okay.
mine was what was on meltdown. Was it the one going, I'm trying to fucking encode this mess, or the
No,
one trying to play it?
I sent my computer to couples counseling because my CPU was not working with my GPU to
Yeah,
they weren't working
right.
together. They weren't communicating.
No, they were not.
That's mainly because the game is not designed that way. So
No, it's not optimized yet. I mean, mind you,
This-
optimization has gotten better over the years.
yeah.
Because back in 3.18, you want to talk about an unoptimized mess of Star Citizen? It was horrid, dude. The memory
For the record,
leaks.
You're taking yourself down that PTSD road. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
God.
not claiming responsibility for
No.
it.
But it was just one of those things. It was the memory leaks that the game had, and it was just all CPU intensive. Like, it really didn't matter what graphics card you had. You could play the game. It really depended on the processor you had and how quickly of an SSD or hard drive you had, because you want to talk about the world's longest loading screen. I'd be able to go hit enter freaking universe. I could go make dinner before I'm even loaded into the game. Like, it was ridiculous as a content creator trying to stream that. But anyway, next week, what do we got?
It's mainly next week our progress check-ins. Where are we at with 4.3, and what has CIG done with the remnants of 4.2.1? Where are we now, and what are the updates? And have they salvaged the wreck that is 4.2.1? So that's not to
How
cut to the chase.
can
but
they
that's-
salvage
that's-
it?
How can they?
Yeah, because
That's a very good question.
yeah, it's gonna be one of those. Well, folks, I think we're gonna call it there. We have to get ready for Org Night, and we'll be on over there. So if you guys would like, I'm going to send a link in
I was gonna
chat.
say we could raid you or me, but I'm not hopping on yet. I gotta take a break before org night. But yeah.
If you guys would like to see us live and actually playing, go on over to these Twitches, hit that follow button where you can find both of us.
Please.
You can also see it in the homepage for Citizen Talk. They are linked there. But yeah, we're going to be heading on off. We have to get ready for Org Night. Linked down below is our Discord and our Twitches. Show some love, show some support. We will see you guys next weekend. Astro Pub, your community, you guys, thank you so much
Yes.
for the raid and for all the follows. It's greatly appreciated. We hope to not let you guys down with future podcasts. We are still fine-tuning some things, but it is something that we enjoy doing because we enjoy this game and we want to see it flourish. How it's going to get there, we do not know. But yeah, if you guys want, head on over to twitch.tv, Mr. B Knight, or twitch.tv/The Evil Tactics. Drop a follow. That way you can see us when we go live here in about half an hour. We're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to figure out who we're going to send y'all on over to. So give me 1 second.
New follower.
The
I'm
Big
entering the tournament.
Cheese.
That tournament is a death sentence.
Shut up. Ad. All right, who can we send you guys out on? Who's doing
shit.
Star Citizen?
I just realized I gotta connect my connect my capture card because it's not linked right now. I'm standing in the hall in my hangar with a really cool pose right now as an outgoing scene, and this will be cool to put up there. Nope.
Yeah, right. Oh, who's live? Oh, man, none of the main people are live right now. You guys have anyone you would like to raid into chat? Anyone you guys can think of? Send their name in chat, and I'll give it a look.
Too bad Lexinator's not
Oh God,
playing
I know.
Star Citizen right now. She's doing Stardew, and that'd be kind of cool to send a huge community over to for someone who's brand new to the game to be like, hey.
I will definitely. I might send me her link in Discord, and we'll break her. So
Okay,
this
hold
is
on.
someone who is new to Star Citizen, guys. She is not playing it right now, but she probably will be later on if we can get her in tonight.
I'm gonna try to get her in.
But she's
So
currently playing Stardew. Stardew Valley, I think is the name of that. Lexinator 88. Oh, now I gotta search her. Damn you.
I'm sorry. He's faster to type. Actually, you know what? Do I have permission to do this?
So, all right, guys. Thank you guys for coming by. Thank you guys for the love, the support. We love you. And we'll see you in the next one. Show Lexinator some love. In the next one. Show her some support. Stay tactical, my friends.